And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie. Off to the races we go at, 47? Wind chill of 43 this morning.
Feels good.
You ever just wanted to sing, "Here come the judge, here come the judge"? Everybody knows that he is the judge. Look who we've got over here. Nick Lisi. How in the world are you doing?
We are making it, fellas. Thank y'all for inviting us out to get to talk and shoot the bull a little bit today.
That's it.
Yeah, you didn't bail me out a while ago when I got lost in a prison sentence.
Well, I was just going to be very quiet and let it go.
Didn't know how to end that. I was trying to make a point there. Good morning, good morning. We're so glad that you chose us for your headlines today of what's happening in our area. And a lot has gone on. We're going to be telling you all about that stuff as we do welcome Nick Lisi. He's also known as the Subway Man. Wait a minute. You're also known as that guy that sells...
Poppers.
What'd you call it?
Poppers.
I call it shrimp.
Poppers, seafood.
What's poppers?
Well,
I don't know what that is.
I don't.
What are you selling over there, Nick?
I don't know. Just some bang bang. I don't know if we can even say it.
Okay, that. Okay, I didn't know. I thought that was some type of new shrimp.
Oh, well, we can call it the bang bang shrimp.
Yeah, the bang bang shrimp.
And we are making our last run this week. This is our last run for the year. We've got some folks going to pick up our shrimp. We got all kinds of good stuff on our seafood runs. We've got shrimp. We got gator. Frog legs. We can get as exotic as you want on this seafood run, but this is our last run of the year, and we're going to take a break, and we'll fire back up second week of January on our seafood runs and everything.
You had your blonde moment for the day. I had mine. I'm with y'all now.
We're trying.
It finally caught up with you.
Somebody brought up to me this week, and I've never, maybe many moons ago, the gator thing is, are we going to say the word it tastes like chicken?
It truly does taste like a little bit. I always kind of call it tough chicken. Now we sell them whole, a little bit tougher than chicken. I like it. We sell gator meat, but we also sell the whole gators. You can get a 4.5, 5 foot gator, and it comes circled up where you can put it in your grill or grill it, smoke it. We sell a bunch of them.
You got any of them little small ones you can line the grill up with?
We can get you some little ones too. We can get you whatever size you want.
Wow, didn't know all of that.
Just bite the whole head off.
A lot goes on in a little town of Meridian. Meridian really is growing. I see a pharmacy on the horizon. The little stretch of road there is growing.
It is, and I tell you, and this is my personal opinion, Marion or Collinsville is the two places that you want to be currently.
It is.
And in Marion, the chief of police, I can't ever say enough about Randall Davis.
I tell you, Chief Davis is an
He's going to
awesome
be here
guy.
tomorrow morning at 6:20 with us.
Really good. He is as good as they get, and they keep it safe over there. And that's, I think that's why people are flooding to Marion and going
it's
to
kind of
Marion
like the Nick
that.
Dundee thing. When if somebody were to take something, he'd take a can of food.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the truth.
There's more police officers with Meridian Police Department than there is with Meridian Police Department, I think.
They're on it. I'll
you
give them
see more anyway.
They're riding, and we do appreciate everything they do there.
Absolutely.
In Collinsville, of course, one of the greatest little towns that is hit. And we do have some great areas in the county here.
Oh, it is. And like I said, those two places, Collinsville, Marion, that's where people want to go because you feel safe. You truly, that's one of the last few places you feel like you can relax a little bit, not be on edge. Not that you should ever relax, I guess, nowadays, but you do feel like you can, relax a little bit, enjoy a little small town life.
It is hard to believe that it's been almost a year that we went down to the new courthouse and watched you raise your hand and say, in your robe was a little big. Do you remember his robe getting bigger than he was?
Well, Mike wouldn't let anybody not see it.
I think I got it hemmed a little bit now. If it fits just a little bit better. It was definitely long. Jeff still gives me heck about that.
Oh,
that's funny.
But that is going on
But,
a year, I guess.
How has it been over the course of the? Have you learned a lot since you started?
I have learned a lot, and I said this during the campaign, but truly, we are blessed in Lauderdale County with great judges and great clerks. I guess the right word is we work as a team. Like I can call those guys at any of the judges at 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. They're going to answer if I've got a question. And we've got some of the best clerk. Our staff is, in my opinion, some of the top in the state. We go to these judges continuing education conferences regularly, and I get to hear the problems they have. We don't have the problems they have, so I feel truly blessed to have. I mean, we have a great support team.
Let me
it really
ask
is.
this about the court system, because I just, on average, how many people do you think has stood before you over the last year? How many? Do you keep track of that?
We do. We could get you an exact number. I'd say especially on criminal days, we have 27, 28 pages of dockets that you can have 70, 80 people come before you on that day. Arraignment days, there can be hundreds come through on arraignment.
How
day.
often are those? Is that once a week?
Basically,
twice a month?
every Monday is your arraignment day. People are going to come in, plead guilty or not guilty. If they're not guilty, if they feel like they're not guilty, we'll set them up a court date where they'll have the time to come and plead their case. And if they feel like they're guilty, we set them up a payment plan, or they, figure it out from there.
Now, I accidentally stumbled in. Let me ask this, because I did not know this. I stumbled up in Judge Early's chambers one day, and he was holding court there. So I thought, well, let me just watch here a minute. When did we start doing television to where they sit in front of a monitor and the judge gets to see them from the jail on a monitor and speak with them? How long has that been going on?
That's been going on for really since COVID. Even before I got involved, that process became a thing when COVID hit, because you didn't have to get the prisoners out of jail to come before you. So now that was just efficient, and that stuck. And so we do that after court.
It helps with no one can escape en route. There's several things with that. I kind of like that.
And it stuck. They did it out of, obviously for COVID reasons when that was going on, and now it's just efficient. I mean, you don't have to get them in a vehicle or walk them across the road, or it'd be a really big deal now that the courthouse is where it is now.
Driving down the road,
and it works. It works. So, like I said, that's generally done at the end of court. You do your initial appearances, or somebody that might owe the county money that got picked up. And that's when you do that via Zoom.
What does that? I've heard this before. A must-see judge before they can do anything. When somebody gets pulled over, they go,
Yes.
Is that because they didn't pay a fine or something?
Many times that is because they owe the county money, and then they're in jail till we can work out a payment plan with them. And that's per judge. You can allow them to come up with X amount of money, or all of it, or half of it, and then they got to come back before you and work out a payment plan for the remainder.
You can kind of make that decision of, okay, your financial status is this. I don't want to hurt you, but you owe this, so I'll give you 2 months to pay this off. You have a little leniency on that.
Absolutely. You have that's your decision if you want X amount a month to $25 a month. It's just up to the judge, and then it's up to the judges, I guess, to hold their feet to the fire. If you want to get the money that the county is owed,
right.
But it just depends on the judge's opinion, and you can hold their feet to the fire, or you can be a little lenient if they've got an excuse.
And again, all questions here have not been rehearsed with.
No,
There's really
not at all.
nothing. So I have one of those from the hip questions as y'all were saying that. Let's say hypothetically you're arrested, and you're put in jail, and you go, Judge, I ain't got no $3,000. I have no way of getting it. If you spend time in jail, does that count toward that fine per day or something?
You get an $87 credit per day. So if you owe $3,000, if you want to figure out how many days you're going to be in divide divide 3,000 by 87.
There's some husbands out there going, oh, what a vacation, get paid $87 a day.
It is.
Do they have to pick up trash or something to earn that $87?
No, and that's something that should be done. And some counties do that.
But we do not here.
We do not currently. I know in Picayune, when I'm going on my seafood runs, I see, and a lot of times really what it's not necessarily the people in jail, but they do it for people that are working off fines. If they owe money and they don't have a way to go about it, they'll have them on the side of Picayune. I see them on the side of the road picking up trash.
I don't see a problem with that. I truly do not.
Sure.
Because and people do. Now, and let's just be honest, sometimes bad luck follows people. let's say that you couldn't, hypothetically, you couldn't pay to have your license renewed, whatever the case is. You were short on money and you get pulled over because you don't have a license. Then you get a ticket for that. And it just kind of snowballs to where you don't have it.
And that's
you're making minimum wage and you're in a bind.
I see that a lot, and that's one of the tough things you see as a judge, because a person, exactly what you just said, they might have a license suspended, but they need to work in order to pay off the fine, and they have to drive in order to get to work, and they get in that snowball. And I mean, I've seen some seriously large amounts of money that are not necessarily a major crime, but it's over and over and over and
I
over.
don't want anybody to take what I'm fixing to say wrong here, but I've met a lot of police officers over the years. And, there's still some good Andes
You're
out
absolutely
there
right.
that pull somebody over and they realize, you don't need a ticket. I'm going to give you a warning, and not everything is about a ticket, and it just depends upon how and what you've done. Always be kind to police officers. Remember that.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot of them
100%.
will say, all right, look, your tag's out. Here's a ticket. You call me before the date of this court
If you've had
and
it
show
fixed.
me where you got that corrected, and I'll tear this ticket up.
And that's kind of our common practice.
And that's
if,
good.
If you have an expired tag and you go get it fixed before your court date, you come to court, we'll dismiss it most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it should be. You just want the problem corrected,
Right.
not
That's right.
necessarily, cripple somebody monetarily.
And I have been one of those that have forgotten about it and forgotten to renew my license from time to time. It can just, that
It only
cycle.
comes around every 4 years.
I know. I went ahead and
Oh,
paid that
you did
extra
that.
8 years.
I did the same thing, because that's just, I'm with you. I'm probably guilty of that. I have to check mine when I get done with the show to make sure it's not
What
expired.
birthday I got coming up?
We've got more coming up as we'll continue talking with the judge today. It's fun asking questions of,
Yeah.
you're not always, thankfully, in front of a judge. So this is where you can.
I don't mind this way.
You've got a question for
A
the
little bit
judge,
easier.
throw it up there. We'll do our best to answer it. More coming up here at the Scotty Ray Report.
This is going to be our biggest year-end clearance event ever here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia. Inventory is up and rates are finally down. We promise to save you thousands on any of our new inventory. From Siennas to Sequoias, Camrys to Corollas, Tundras, Tacomas, no matter the model, we will not be undersold. We want your business. With interest rates as low as 1.99%, top dollar value for your trade-in, and thousands off all of our inventory, Doc's Toyota is your clear choice for your next Toyota purchase. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp, trail riding, or just working on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, and of course the judge. I was out last night seeing what folks were up to, and I couldn't help but notice I made it to North Hills and saw these bright lights. I thought, whoo, what's going on? It was ATMOS Gas working last night. I didn't realize this. This was right next to Trustmart. They had the side of the road. They were working hard there.
Digging it up.
And hopefully that's fixed this morning, but they were hard at work trying to get it done before Christmas there. And we'll get into a gas leak that happened yesterday also. One thing I wanted to bring out, as we near Christmas, and there's a lot of people that own businesses that are fed up with shoplifters. It's just time and time again. But the Meridian Police Department, I got to give credit where credit is due. They've assigned a lot more people to the Crossroads area and business places to try to curb this and catch people. Last night, they did. And I put this up as suspected because you have not been before a judge like Nick and been found guilty, so you're innocent until proven guilty, although product was pulled out of the car with the tag and it had not been paid for.
Yeah.
We go all the way in front of Olive Garden last night to where I believe they ran out of the new store there, Academy, and took off, hauling britches there, and they would be stopped as we show the blue lights aglow.
I mean, that's a way to welcome new businesses. Hey, look, we want y'all to invest your money and come down here and put a store in so our people can go in there and steal you blind.
It happens. And Odie and Nick,
Man.
I want to say the store not been open 2 hours and somebody had already shoplifted.
And I don't doubt it, and we experience it at our businesses as well. It's an unfortunate part of it. Like, I mean, it's things that would shock you several years ago are now just commonplace.
And people are, is the word brazen? Is that the word for it?
That's probably a fair word
to
for
where
it.
Used to, if you'd done a crime, you were kind of embarrassed about it. That shame is gone.
That's
And
changed.
we don't want to jinx this or nothing, but there was a parade there in Collinsville last weekend.
It was. I saw it.
And so we get going down Highway 19, and you stop the vehicle and say, "Hey, jump in." So somebody jumps in with us. We get halfway through the parade.
Be
and
that one.
That'd be
he
this
goes,
one.
"Hey, you know what? I left my doors open to the store. Nobody's in there, you know."
That's right.
That's Collinsville.
But that's the difference in a Collinsville or a Marion.
You
It's
get back and everything's still
everything's there. I had some people said we went in there and called for you and nobody there, so we just stayed in there and watched it for you.
I was in the parade.
That's it. That's again only in Collinsville.
And you know,
Yeah.
and quite honestly, I didn't. What I asked him to jump in, it never entered my mind that his store.
He is either. He's the
I was
one
like,
that
oh,
opened the
come on,
door.
just leave it up and go. Left the open signs on and all.
We'll be back.
Just have the little bag that you can throw your money in, the honesty thing, get what you want.
And which brings to mind, who doesn't remember Peggy's?
I was
Yes,
just
absolutely.
thinking
That's
that
exactly
good
what I was
food.
thinking.
Philadelphia, and you paid for it yourself, took the change out.
They took the building down.
Why? What? Is something else going there?
I don't know if something else
didn't-
is going there or if it's going to be a parking lot.
I don't know. My dad and I used to go up there. That's
Oh, I loved it.
if he wanted to get some good old soul food, that's where he
Yeah.
went. We'd load
Fried-
up and
I
go
remember
up there.
eating chicken there.
That's what he liked to.
And you don't know who you're going to sit with.
Nope, no idea.
Man, that was
Kind
good.
of like being a church.
That's it. It's a good concept.
You never know.
That's right.
Boy, I was I had went to and let me say this. There's angels among us, and
Oh, yeah.
Teresa. I'm gonna go ahead and call that woman an angel. I was at Squealer's Barbecue last night. I decided I wanted a barbecue sandwich to bring home. She's got the patience of Job.
Teresa's as good as they come. She's absolutely as
Because
good as they come.
I would not have handled the situation that she had last night because I was all bowed up and ready to jump to action for her. She had somebody stumble in. I'm not sure whether they were homeless or what they were, but do you remember that term, drunker and Cooter Brown?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. He was every bit of that. He was showing his best Michael Jackson moves to me, and I was not amused at the situation.
He's trying to get on the Scotty Ray Report.
I took a picture of him.
Well, of course.
Just to have. But she was so patient and asked him kindly, and I want to say that he may have been hungry and she may have helped him out. But Teresa, you're a godsend because I would not have handled it that way. She's a good woman, people.
as good as
I
they
just
come.
want y'all to know that. And she handled it very professionally, and I waited till he went away before I left. I wasn't going to leave. She was not a damsel in distress by any means. There's a lot of mama in her. And sometimes mamas handle situations better than the rest of us. So good job,
100%.
Teresa. It would be right after that I would come home and I would set that barbecue sandwich in front of me, and I was sitting there eating on it, and the next thing you know, my phone starts going da-ding, 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 and I look over and it says, "Where are you?" I said, "What do you mean, where am I?" "Well, 8th Street's where you need to be." So I
I
commenced.
just left there.
So I had to turn around and go back, and this is what I found. Rump row as we arrive. Let's go to the pictures first, as we would find an accident involving a Lauderdale County Deputy car. We had major damage. This is right 29th and 8th Street last night. As we'll see here, I'm going to say that, how do you say it, Odie? That ain't going to
you
buff
can't
out.
buff that out. Chet's good.
But he ain't that good.
But he's not that good.
A little damage there as we'll see that the car was struck. I want to say there were some minor injuries involved there. And all is well at the end of the day. But it was some minor injuries there. But accidents do happen, and that happened last night at 8th Street and 29th. And the entire road was shut down. You could not go around it. So that's what the holdup was. If you saw the blue lights in the distance and you couldn't get there, that's what was going on last night. So
save that picture. I thought that room fit Kevin's hand.
Let's take a look at that again.
Straight from Lewis Record.
Then gone to pick it on a record board.
Fits perfect.
What does their shirt say? Support your local hooker.
That's right.
I like that.
It's a cute shirt.
I like that.
I was out roaming around in the junk parts there. They showed that to me there. We also had a little fender bender yesterday up by the Waffle House, which is confusing to me. I always call it Highway 45 South, and I think they call it 145 Roebuck Drive now. Something like that.
Yeah.
But let's just call it the Evangel Temple Road.
There we go.
So we all know what that is. Here's what we had there, a little minor accident there. It's okay, it was bigger than minor. It really slung parts all over the road there. And as we'll look at this, let's look at this next picture here. Here's the car that was involved.
Well,
Again, one of
that's
those.
another one of them you ain't gonna buff straight.
Seems like a good business to be in around town, being in the body business.
And and I get told that a lot of, I didn't know there was that many wrecks that happen, and they do. They're kind of accidents happen.
Maybe they've
All the
included
time.
those numbers in how the sales of the cars they're expecting.
It may be.
Could be, for sure.
And the thing about cars nowadays is if your airbag goes off, why don't they make those to where they can be repaired? Because it's basically a total car
Yeah,
if that goes off.
because once it's triggered, you'd probably have to rebuild that entire thing
But
just
you
to be
couldn't like
safe.
unscrew it and buy one from Amazon and
Yeah, it
stick
seems
on
like
there?
it should be able.
Buy one
Surely
from
we've been to the
Temu.
moon and back. Surely we can cure that. We've been to the moon and back.
Yeah.
It's just small
Come
thoughts
up
there.
with something.
One day it'll be cheaper there, but they do protect you. I'll give you that. They just come out real fast. Watch it. Lots going on there.
You're trying to
720.
get it to where the insurance company save money and not charge us an arm and a leg.
I thought that was a thought. You're saying that's not going to work?
I think my truck's old. It might not even have airbags in it. I don't know.
If they do, mine's rotten.
I always remember this. I don't know if y'all remember the realtor in Texas that came up missing. She was a big time realtor, and they arrested her husband in the end for her murder. Always remember, if your best friend calls you at 2 a.m. and goes, "Hey, would you mind holding my 45 for me, hiding it for a few weeks?" There might be more to it. His best friend might be going to jail now for hiding the gun.
Dang.
Oh, those investigations. And did y'all hear this? This has been rattling America for years. John Benet Ramsey. You remember?
Yeah.
Did y'all hear to where after that documentary ran that somebody emailed the father and said, "My husband did that. He's dead now."
No,
but
I've not heard
he
that.
admitted to doing that. I don't know
Wow.
if there's truth to it or not, but he did receive a letter stating that. I'm sure that police are all involved in this, and wouldn't it be nice for that crime to be really solved?
Yeah, they were
absolutely.
scared years ago. A little documentary came out, and they were wanting to blame the brother, for doing that. And it was like,
I don't think he did it.
I don't either.
That'd be tough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now
But
she has passed, the mother, right?
I believe you're right, and the dad
And
is
the
still with
dad's
us.
still around.
That little girl wasn't, but what, 6 years old or
Something like that.
Something like that,
that.
She
5 or
was
6.
just a absolute little gorgeous little girl that was beauty pageants, and boy, if you could, nowadays most likely there would be video cameras in a home, and you would
sure.
know more.
Sure.
We do hope that crime is solved one day. All that coming up, we're going to tell you about Shad White, what he does. He didn't caught somebody else right at Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not going to look good when the rest of the family shows
He
up.
is good at his job.
could I get that back? I need to take it for a return.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. Paul Brown with Dixie Buildings. We're here to take care of all your building needs for your personal and your business needs. That includes portable buildings, carports, sheds. Don't forget your hunting camps are coming in. You can start out with our 8x10s. If we cannot haul it, we can build it for you on site. We have 2 locations, one on Highway 19 South and our home office just around the corner on Long Creek Road. Just give us a call at 601-483-4943.
Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rock House Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rock House Gun and Pawn. The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger. Plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor.
Oh, hey, here
And
we are.
back. Hey, good news. We got another road open in Lauderdale County. The Road and Bridge has announced that Richard Johnson Road is back open.
There we go.
Little gravel there,
Yeah.
pavement hopefully coming later there, but it's back open. You'll be able to travel again. Always good to see those back open.
They've been working a lot of roads, and that's something that, Rush and his team doesn't go out there and shut these roads down. The Board of Supervisors don't say shut these roads down. The state comes in and shuts these roads down, and then your supervisors and Rush have to get together and say, okay, now how are we going to fix this, and where are we going to get the money?
That's no fun. I wanted to blame somebody local. You just really took the fun out of that story.
Oh, well, yeah. I wish we could, but
Now I've got nothing to talk about now.
yeah, we can't do it this time.
Judge, as this is rocking on your year, and you have learned a whole lot. For the average guy or person there, as you were in court every day, what kind of cases are you hearing majorly? Is it speeding tickets? Is it family issues, people arguing with each? What are the most of the cases that you hear?
It just really depends on the day. Like I said, like Monday's arraignment day, they plead guilty, not guilty on all kinds. We have civil day that's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, and you could be hearing anything from
Somebody owes you money that didn't pay you back.
All kinds of things, concrete disputes. This guy, didn't fix my car right. You can hear anything on that
That's
end.
person to person, and not government versus
You
person.
see a lot of evictions on civil day, and then obviously monetary suits. And evictions is that's probably the least favorite part of the job, especially this time of the year. You
I
hate
didn't
to
even
do
think of that. It, Andy had that problem. If y'all remember, the Andy Griffith show at Christmas.
That's always tough anytime, but especially when you get near the holidays. But criminal day, I'd say the most you see on criminal day, which falls on Tuesday every week, is DUIs. We see a lot of DUIs. A good bit of domestic violence, and obviously speeding tickets and the whole 9 yards. But DUIs are a big deal, and I tell you what kind of shocked me when I got in there is DUI other is a large portion. It could be marijuana, it could be prescription medicine, it could be anything. But that is
probably
growing.
a misconception there. But y'all think about this: you go to the doctor and he gives you a pill to take, and you take your you can sit like Elvis did. The doctor gave it to me, and then you drive off to work.
But the bottle has don't operate machinery, and a vehicle is a machinery.
It's treated just like alcohol. It doesn't matter.
So, and I say that for that reason. Think of that. Read that bottle because you could be written up over it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, while I can talk a little bit about court, people need to come prepared. I almost want to use it as a PSA, a public service announcement.
Yeah.
That's what I see when you come to court, because justice court is the court. You don't necessarily have to have an attorney. Now, if there's days in jail associated with your charge, I would definitely get an attorney. If there's days in jail associated with your possible charge, get an attorney. But if it's a smaller thing, just have your ducks in a row. Make sure you have all your information. Don't come in there with just a story. If you have a story, you want your text messages printed off, you want your leases printed out, and just come as prepared as you possibly can, because that's what I see in court. Not that they're necessarily wrong, they just don't come with the right information. And as a judge, we can't dig for the information. All we can go off is what you present us. So just, be prepared when you come to
Bring
court.
everything
you
that
think
just
you need.
may be involved in that. Yeah.
And this is just one of those from the hip questions. If you can answer this, answer it. If you can't, tell me you can't.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you get pulled over a speeding ticket and you feel that you didn't deserve that. You go before. How do you go against a police officer's word if he says you were going 60 and you go, there's no way, my speedometer, but you have no way to prove it? Or is it he said, she said? What happened there?
It is a he said, she said, but on the officer's end, they're required to do certain things to their speeding equipment to make sure that they are calibrated properly. But there's times that they come in and say, hey, they might have shot the wrong car.
Right.
And then it is a he said, she said type situation.
So you would stand a chance if you feel come to court.
Absolutely. Anything you feel you're not guilty on, come to court. That's what, especially on Mondays when they're saying guilty, not guilty, and somebody says, well, I guess I don't feel like I'm guilty, but I'm just going to plead guilty. I said, well, no, this is what it's about. This is what the court system. If you think you are not guilty, plead not guilty and come to court and we'll hear it.
But here's the thing on that. And that is, the side of the road is not where you hold court with the officer.
Yeah.
100%.
The court's being held in front of you or one of the other judges in a courtroom that's to determine that. But not with the officer on the side of the road escalating an event that's going to get completely out of hand.
I would suggest not to be a roadside attorney.
Exactly.
It rarely ever ends well in the citizens' favor ever.
Let's test Nick's knowledge and see if he remembers Parrish's slogan.
What is it?
What was it he said? You could make more money.
Make more money, but you can't make more time.
That is fair. That's a fair statement.
That was a good little slogan that he had there. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and of course, as he mentioned, you do hear a lot of DUIs.
All right, so on that with an attorney, and you've got someone that comes up there and they're looking at a possible couple days on up in jail. They can't afford an attorney. Do y'all provide one? Is that something you set up then, or is that something that needs to be set up before court?
Well, we set it up when you come in. It could be on arraignment day. It could be the day of your court, and it's pretty regular. You have to fill out a form that basically the judge has to okay you to have a public defender. But yes, if you cannot afford it, we will appoint you a public defender. Like I said, no matter if you feel like you've got if it's days in jail associated with your charge, you need an attorney. There's things you can do without one, and there's people that come in there and try it, but I've never seen it go.
Let me say this:
great.
I'm not knocking any public. You're only as good as your attorney.
100%.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. A guilty person has probably gotten off with a good attorney.
What is the old saying that deals with that? Only a fool has
I know in business, I always feel like
something.
in business, I don't want a cheap accountant and I don't want a cheap attorney.
That's right.
Ask Willie about that.
That's exactly right. He'll tell you.
Is money well spent?
100%.
Because they do, and the way to word this is they do it every day.
Absolutely.
That terminology changes so much in the world of law, and I don't understand it.
And on the officer side, they've got to dot their I's and cross their T's, and the attorneys know what if they mess up, where you as even a citizen might not recognize it.
Right, unless you're pulled over by Mr. Leach. He does not make a mistake.
It'll cost you a little bit, but your new one, not your old one that you're driving right now. But you could take your new one down and pay a mechanic to download the computer for that day and time, and it'll tell you what your speed is on that computer.
I don't like that, Odie. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like that at all. At all. That's spooky. The government's watching me, aren't they? They're recording my phone calls.
No. But if you have a wreck and something's involved and you say, look, I was only doing 40, and they're going to say, well, let's see. No, sir. You're
going to make me drive that 04 model, aren't you? We'll be right back.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Everything starts with a great grill, cookware, and accessories. Add in locally sourced meat and dairy, frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, and daybeds and have fun with our cornhole boards. From animal print coolers to authentic Louis Vuitton purses, we have what you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, and Judge is in the house with us this morning. Has Judge T called you and gave you any friendly advice?
He comes by the Crawfish Shack fairly regular. I'll run into him at Sam's, and he keeps me on the straight and narrow and lets me tells me what I need to worry about and what I don't need to worry about. So he does. And if I called him, I guarantee he'd give me any advice I want. Ricky, like I said, him, Ricky, any of those guys, I'm blessed to have a plethora of people that I can call if I have a question. And I can't stress how good we've got it in Lauderdale County.
All right, well, let's test the judge, see how he does.
Let's see what kind of education we get.
Oh, my gosh, I'm going to be worse than Julia.
This was a cold day in 1777. He had to retreat. He had to figure out where to go, and it was a little place called Valley Forge. Y'all remember that guy? George Washington.
Oh, yeah.
And, interesting, and I've said this before, but they found, this was 10, 15 years ago, a guy was out with a metal detector there where they crossed the Potomac, and he found a whiskey bottle that was presented to George Washington the night before, had the date stamped where it was given to him, and it was found in the water out there. So I thought y'all might want to know it. Y'all don't seem to be impressed by that little bit of history.
Well, I mean, I like that part. Now, he was our first president. Had wooden teeth, chopped down a cherry tree.
Any of y'all ever been out behind the barn?
Yeah, I was took out there a time or two.
Yeah, well, he made it famous today. It was little Jimmy Dickens who was born today who had that big song out behind the barn.
He needs to get a bigger guitar.
Little Jimmy, he appeared in so many Brad Paisley videos through the years. They were really, really close, and he learned everything out behind the barn. One of his biggest hits that he ever had there.
And he's still alive?
Oh, no, he's
That's what I thought he had passed away. Yeah.
But we all remember this next guy because it was our favorite TV show back in the late 70s, early 80s we'd watch. I'm on the air at WKRP.
In Cincinnati.
Venus Flytrap, wasn't that his name?
Yes.
On the show?
Yes, I was trying to think of what it was. That is exactly it.
Still, it'd be hard to beat Johnny Fever, who played one song that was on the top 40 the entire time that he was there. WKRP was such a good show there. Anybody remember watching Dan Tana? Anybody remember that TV show?
I watched it a few. Oh, Vegas.
You don't know Dan
I'd
Tana?
never heard of her.
Her?
No, I'm just joking. Never heard of her.
Robert Urich was born today.
Yeah.
Of course, he played Dan Tana. He was the guy that drove his convertible 57 Thunderbird into his house. It always had the driving garage in his living room. Yeah, y'all aren't.
He looks familiar.
Y'all are no fun today.
I know. This is my worst part of the whole interview.
Mine too.
This.
And I look at the answers.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been trying to Google things that happened in history over here, and I can't get the internet
That's
to
what
work.
that girl does. She comes in here with a stack of papers, and she never does get the right day when she's doing it.
1947. She was a great backup singer. Janie Freaky, born on today. Back in 47, if y'all remember her. She's single again. A lot of other big hits that she had today. It ain't easy being easy. as we go back to the Brady Bunch. We got another one born on the Brady Bunch today. Did you watch Brady Bunch?
I did. Well, I could speak a little bit on the Brady Bunch. I didn't get to watch it a lot. My dad made me work a lot, so I'm not very knowledgeable on videos and
did he do
movies.
that to you?
He believed in child labor. He'd be in jail today, but it worked out.
8th Street Subway. That's where you were.
That's
Wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Look, we got a This Day in History coming up. Somebody's wanting Nick to tell about this day in history when it comes to the kissing booth.
Oh, Miss Shannon, she knows all about the kissing booth in Meridian. That's what we do when seafood sales go down. When we're out of seafood, we just open up a kissing booth out there.
Who gets more, you or Jeff?
Oh, it depends. We give them an option, whoever they get to pick,
There's something I'm missing.
Look, I had a customer. We've done it
Are they
forever.
doing it by the pound or what?
A customer. I always harass them when they come up here and they'll get in the line. And I say, "Are you here for seafood or are you in the kissing booth line?" And you can tell, get a little shocked. And I had one of my customers found at a yard sale a kissing booth sign, and they came and bought it, and it's hung up there at the crawfish shack. When you pull up, it says a kissing booth.
Wow.
And Miss Shannon's one of my customers.
All right, well, that's pretty cool. I thought it was going to be something better than that.
No.
Thought there was a hit and miss. Anybody remember Bobby Brady? He was born today. The show that kind of shaped all the childhood, and everybody wanted a. What was the name of that dog? Tiger? Wasn't that it from the show? Tiger.
I think you're right.
Remember the
I think you're
dog's
right.
name.
Yeah, everybody wanted an Alice too. Yeah. I will never forget this episode. Granny, this thing's going fast enough it could fly. The Beverly Hillbillies
Absolutely.
in '62, they went home for Christmas on a flight. I'll never forget Jed looking out that window saying that line.
It's going so fast.
The Greyhound bus is getting fast enough to fly. What?
Oh, man.
Was it the writers were better, or did they just have more common sense then?
Both.
Probably best. I was about to say both.
A
I'm sure.
little bit of both. Yeah.
Just better times.
And maybe, what was Jethro's sister's name that was really him? Jethrine?
Yeah,
Is that her
Jethrine,
name?
yeah.
She was a big old girl.
You
think
imagine
of
how
that
many
name.
people you'd make upset? I mean, look at, you can't have Archie Bunker. People will get upset, have to go to a safe space. You can't do the Jeffersons.
No,
People go into their safe space.
Fred Sanford.
No, you'd run out of safe spaces.
I'm sure T.J. Hooker would upset somebody
Well,
today.
probably so. So you can't have
Pitiful. You
good
can't have
shows
fun
no more.
anymore.
You
You
hurt
just-
somebody's feelings out there.
We've just raised a generation of wusses by
Yeah,
having all this
exactly.
That's a
stuff.
good way to word it.
Yeah.
It would be 1970, and I think we can call this her signature song.
Oh, yeah.
Now, she had hit after hit after hit, but it would be the one that the movie was made after. Sissy Spacek would go to the big screen with this, and we would all remember Coal Miner's Daughter went number one on this day back in 1970. That is some 54 years ago. Wow. How time flies there. Dude! The show that started it all with John Boy and all of them, it was a pilot. And tonight it played in 1971, and it had different characters. It wasn't the same daddy that we recognized there. Richard Thomas was on there, but the guy that would play John and the mom were all different. There was a few that were the same, but it was the pilot show, and then it would become a regular part of your house. And I had somebody,
I had no idea.
I had someone tell me the other day that while it was on television, they didn't watch it. And now as they've gotten older, they realize just what that show was about. And it had a meaning of something that was going on in your family at some point. My aunt was on the Beverly Hillbillies, Debbie says. Mrs.
Miss
Drysdale.
Drysdale, well, I'll be darned.
Local celebrity.
Yeah, that's pretty neat now to have a claim
That is a
to
good story.
the Drysdale.
Yes.
What was the name of the little dog that she always had that Milburn had to chase?
Oh, gosh.
I can't remember.
It was
And then
good.
Austin brought up Blazing Saddles. No, you almost hurt somebody's feelings when you named
Just the
movie.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does happen there. Long Wolf McQuaig. Boy, I sure like that one. 1972. Anybody remember a show called Who's the Boss?
Yep.
Tony
Yes.
Danza. It doesn't. I think there were several shows, kind of like Mr. Belvedere, to where the dude was the house cleaner, and even back to Uncle. I forget which show it was. A guy that lived with him that took care of my three sons. I think had a.
Oh, yeah.
But Scott. No, it wasn't Scott Bale. What was his name?
Alyssa Milano.
It's her name. I was trying to think of the character's name there.
She is.
She's pretty, but
She is beautiful.
Yeah,
but her
absolutely.
mind
she's
is,
left.
Did she?
Very left. She's a lefty, as we would say.
No, she's so far left, it didn't come back around to the right side.
I think we all. This was a huge hit with ladies, but I don't care who you are. It was a good movie. I watched it over and over and over. Who hadn't had a boss that needed to be put into a room and left for a month or so until you straighten things out? Well, it happened today in 1980 as 9 to 5 opened up, and this would bring Dolly to a whole new world of people that had no idea who she was. And she was good. And all the things that they done to him. And, of course, he would be in the remake of Beverly Hillbillies as Mr. Drysdale.
Yeah. You remember they tied him up to the garage door opener?
And that scene where they thought they had actually killed him and they went to the hospital and got the wrong body.
Yeah. Tony Danza's who you were thinking about.
Tony Danza.
Yeah, Nancy had you right.
He was in something else. A lot of musicians in country music went to idolize this guy because he was so good at what he did. Now, the hits were a little bit different. He was soft-spoken, to say the least, but a producer, boy, he's really helped a lot of folks. Anybody remember Steve Wariner? All Roads Lead to You went number 1 back in 1981.
You notice anything on that there guitar?
Oh, yeah, it says PV, doesn't it?
PV from right here in
That's
Meridian.
it.
Sure did.
Ma'am.
Oh, Steve Wariner. You don't see that every day. I didn't even catch it. That's a good eye there, Odie.
Yep, we got it.
That's what he's here for.
Let's see here.
Details, right?
Gotta have details.
What was this song? I wish they all could be California girls. There you are. As we go back for David Lee Roth.
All the viewers just went off. I just saw when we started singing.
Now, you got any pants like that?
I do not. I do not. I can't say I do.
But ladies wear those now. Isn't that those black breeches that ladies
leggings?
wear?
Yeah, it looks like leggings.
And them things even got the hoops to go on the bottom of the feet, don't they?
Man, that's
So they don't ride up.
That's right.
It's almost like a onesie.
That's right.
Y'all be careful. I'm starting to see onesies floating around Meridian.
With men?
I guess they're like they're pink. They're
Okay, I was about to say, gosh, I hope not. I don't want no onesie. I'm good.
No. Anybody remember this movie? It was a little odd. Little Shop of Horrors premiered today back in '86. He talked to the plants or something.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that one, yeah.
He was also in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, wasn't he?
Yep.
Could have been in a few other things, but...
Well, he was. Remember, he was the gatekeeper.
Oh, Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
He lived down the hall, that little weird dude.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what it was.
This was almost a dark movie to a degree.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I remember watching it. Anybody remember the movie Platoon? It premiered today in '86 also. We're getting a head shake from Nick on this one.
I was 3 years old then, so I was probably at work by then.
Probably at work. You had to be at work early on those days.
This was one of the oldest at the time. She was in her mid-40s when she got a record deal. And you had to be a... what's the word I'm looking for? A middle-aged lady to understand her music. She went number 1 today back in '87 with Do Ya? Anybody remember KT Oslin? It was big.
I do not.
Hey Bobby, there was a bunch of hits there. '80s Ladies was one of her first songs. '92, I Got the Rhythm, She Got the Blues. Alan Jackson went number 1 in 1992.
I like him now.
Folks, have y'all seen Alan lately?
I have not.
You know, Alan has contracted that disease to where he's lost his balance.
Really?
And he can't walk straight anymore. And I saw a video and it just shatters your heart of Alan being led to the stage so he wouldn't trip and fall. And he's okay after he gets there.
But getting there.
Yeah.
Dang,
y'all keep him.
That's tough.
That's gotta be.
That's horrible.
I had a friend that had Meniere's disease, and it's the same thing in her ear. Close. But he'd just be standing there, and all of a sudden, boom, he'd fall.
Dang.
And it was something along the line. It did with the equilibrium. It's called Meniere's disease.
I never heard of it.
Is it something to do with the in your ear?
Yeah.
I've
And
heard
they
of it.
told him, they says, man, look, we can fix you. Won't have any problem. He was like, okay. He said, there's one side effect. He said, what's that? He said, pick which ear you can't no longer hear in. Do what? And he goes, yeah. He said, I don't care. He said, at least I'll stop falling.
So they fixed it, repaired it?
Yeah, just like that. But he's deaf in one ear because of that. But Now he can walk, and he doesn't have to worry about just all of a sudden out of the blue, wham, hitting the
Yeah,
floor.
that's crazy.
Maria said he has CMT, and I'm not sure what that stands for, but
Country music television.
it used to stand for that. But y'all think about it. That's it's not fun now. I can't walk a straight line, but I don't think I've got a disease. It's just cause I just can't walk a straight line.
It's because you only sleep 2 hours a day.
1998, we would all
Sleep.
sit back at the television at CNN, most likely back in '98, and watch this go. They went after him hard. They did impeach him, but he didn't go anywhere. Bill.
I did not have sexual relations with that
I have to confess, I did look that up. That was one of the things that hit on in history today. So that's the only answer I knew so far.
Yeah.
Bill. And he may get a pardon before it's all over, before Joe leaves office.
Another one of those blanket parties.
It could very well happen there.
Just whatever he's done, let's go ahead and clear him of that.
Did y'all watch this? It by far was a chick flick. I can almost see Nick on the front of a boat going,
Let's see what this is.
Titanic.
I have seen that one. I can say I've seen that. Wasn't it a 2 or 3 hour movie?
Yeah.
Yes, real long.
Yep.
And of course, it brought back a lot of fantasizing about that ship and all. And of course, made what's his name? DiCaprio,
Yep.
Leonardo. He's still dating a 19-year-old somewhere today.
I think that's probably the last movie I seen in a theater was the Titanic. However long ago that was.
1997. There,
you
Nick.
go. So I was youngin'.
Yeah.
He's been
It's
saving
about the same as you. Just don't go to the
I've
theater.
been saving my money up since then.
Yeah, buy that new truck.
You buy a home
I'm trying to get
theater
another
system
vehicle.
for that. Yeah.
Did you ever take your wife on a date? Let's be honest about this. Did you?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I took her. Our first date was at Chili's, and I had shrimp and crawfish in the back. She called me. I was in Hattiesburg, and I'd been trying to talk her into going on a date with me, and she, for whatever reason, said yes that day, and I shut down that crawfish shack we had in Hattiesburg and got home so quick. So yeah, that was our
you
first.
Remember what you ate?
I don't remember what we had. I just remember I had
That's where
shrimp
he
and
was
crawfish in the back because I was leaving Hattiesburg with it. Shut this joint down. I got a date. Shut her down.
That's it. We're done.
That's it. We're done here.
You know, did I tell you about the first time I went out with Angie? She acted like she wasn't home.
Really?
Yeah.
She was hiding.
I beat on the door and they didn't come to it.
He didn't look like that on the radio.
That's right. That's funny.
She sure
Did
done
not
that
know
to me.
that. That is bad.
That was-
I ain't never forgot it. And then my mother-in-law
never got over it.
And you know how I found out? My mother-in-law admitted to it like 20 years later.
Oh
We
wow! So
hid.
she held that close to the cup for 20 years.
Yeah, 20.
Dang.
That was just wrong.
That is funny.
We go back to 01. Now, I made fun of Angie. I ain't gonna lie. I made fun of her bad about watching this show. Stuff I don't believe in that. And then I stood in front of the TV sipping a cup of coffee, and I was hooked. 18 hours later, I'm still watching as Lord of the Rings was released this date back in 01. Precious.
That's what you like, that little precious thing. wasn't it?
It was interesting.
I've never watched that.
What was it about the sock? Didn't he have a sock or something like that? And he owed you his life? That little bitty fellow that says precious.
I don't
It's
never see
precious. He worshipped that ring, and it took over. The greed took over him, and he become that little monster because of greed.
okay.
And you look at that. Do y'all know how many people that are consumed by greed?
Oh sure, 100%.
yeah.
You know, there's a little hidden meaning there of what can happen, and the only way to get rid of it, they had to destroy that golden ring. But the power it had that drew people, it happens in everyday life too. Right. This lady, Sally Ann Howes, I'm going to bet that Nick never got to watch this. Odie and I probably saw it because it come on once a year, and it was just neat. She passed away today. We've talked about the movie earlier. She was the lady in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, if y'all remember that. Yeah, look at this face on Nick's face over there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make it like I've seen it before, but I haven't.
Yeah.
That's Harry Potter. That's the one I was thinking of. Yes, thank you, Miss Deborah. Yeah. Yeah. You ever watched those?
No, because there was a lot of people. I remember when that come out, they said, "Don't you be watching none of that Harry Potter stuff." I remember that it was
Really?
churches didn't
As
like
long
it.
as you tell yourself it's not real, it ought to be okay.
Yeah.
But it was some controversy
Really?
over the Harry
Yeah.
Potter series, major around the area. And again, it's just a movie. You got to remember that. But that happened there. We'll be right back. More coming up with the judges. We're not going to let him go.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in store, through our app, Over the phone or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray Law with Odie. Boy, this morning is flying as we have our special guest here, the judge.
Yeah.
We're learning a lot about what goes on behind the robe.
Little bit about what goes on behind the robe.
He won't tell us everything.
And I've got the robe hem, so it's looking better, you know.
So it fits now.
It fits now.
When is the next day of court that you have?
The next day of court I have is Monday. That's my personal last court of the year.
And if you've never watched the judicial system, used to they let school kids. I don't know if that happens, but if you've never seen it, it's worth coming to your courtroom.
It's absolutely. It's still open to the public. You can come in and watch anything you want, anything that goes on.
Have you ever looked out from your bench and seen somebody out there and thought, oh, it made you a little nervous, like your mama sitting out there?
Well, I mean, you have different, and you have rules you have to abide by. You have different organizations that will sit in and make sure that you're treating people right, doing the right thing. So you're always got to be on your P's and Q's. But I don't mind anybody come sit in.
Even your wife?
They have not come yet. I think they're scared.
You're kidding me.
None of my kids, they're afraid. I think my son and my youngest want to come to court Monday because they're out of school.
See how it's going.
Absolutely. But they're scared I'll embarrass them or something. That's what they're really scared of.
Well, you can't let your personal beliefs interfere with this.
Absolutely.
You can help them monetarily and say, okay, I'm going to let you pay overtime.
That's right.
But the law is the law is the law,
That's
and you can't alter from that. And I'm sure sometimes that's a tough line.
And there have been decisions, and I can't go into specifics on it, but there's been a couple that I disagreed completely. But it's the law, and I told him, I said, I don't agree with this, but this is what it is. This is what it is.
We are seeing a trend around the nation where judges interpret and I don't know how to even really ask this. Mm-hmm. Is the interpretation how some judges will interpret something different than another judge? And it makes you leery, is what I mean by that.
It does, and that's the fact. It is up to the interpretation of that judge, but some stuff is just clear to me.
Right,
being
that's
a common
what I mean.
sense, it's just as clear cut. You read it and you know what you're supposed to do, and if you don't, I guess that's between you and the good Lord. But I've had two situations that I truly, in my heart, disagreed with. But
you had to do the right thing.
I had to.
Well, maybe the right thing isn't the word for it. You had to do what the law.
I had to do what the law said. Yes.
Did you take that oath, and a pretty serious one there?
Absolutely.
Wow. A lot of cases come through this in Lauderdale, and we do urge you to come down and watch this process. You've been right at a year. You're District 1?
That's it. District 1, and it is right at a year. And like I said, I've learned a ton. I keep saying about my staff, they truly make the job easy. We have fun. That's the first thing. We're gonna have fun, but you got to get the job done at the end of the day too. Yeah. But I love every one of those ladies.
Who's your court reporter? Let me ask that.
We don't have a court reporter, but we've got different ladies for civil, different ladies for criminal. You've got your main clerk that's in charge of everybody, making sure that they do what they do. But I've got Nikita. She's our big dog. She's our boss. She keeps us on the straight and narrow. I've got Joyce Jernigan. She's on my civil team. Elisa, she's on our civil clerk. I've got Waukesha, which I think she loves me the most out of everybody. She is on criminal and she can do civil. And we've got Nikita, and then the one that I depend on the most, that probably is ready for my first year to be done, where she won't have to answer so many questions, is Audra. I came in yesterday and I left my key in the truck. I got locked out. I had to get her to let me had to let me in the back door at the courthouse where we could have court.
Yeah, let me in.
So they take care of me.
But a lot to be learned from all of this. Hey, we went to West Lauderdale. Look at this now. Sheriff's Department, whole 9 yards out there at West Lauderdale yesterday. Isn't that a great picture?
That is out there greeting the kids. I think they were doing something today.
Before.
Yeah, we get that reindeer to ride the floats with us.
I think that Santa Claus was at our house not too many weeks ago taking pictures, I believe. Shalee wrangled him in over there somehow.
Did she?
Mm-hmm. She got connections.
Right, it sounds like it.
Is that a onesie? Am I seeing a onesie there? It's pink. That's
that is
a onesie.
I see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the bunny rabbit?
I don't see the ears.
Okay. Well, I was just asking for a friend.
I'm not sure what that is.
I thought I'd ask on that. Let's see what else is going on. We had a major gas leak yesterday as it come out. And as I pulled up, I went, whoo. This was on 23rd Avenue as the Meridian Fire Department showed up there to help put this out. It was turned off. ATMOS gas showed up and fixed the problem there. But it was an obvious leak right along there as the fire department showed up to do that. Those guys do a lot with things of that nature.
Yes, they do. Yes,
And
they do.
Lord knows I wouldn't know what to do when it come to a gas leak on that. We had a log truck overturning the edge of Alabama yesterday. I'm like, y'all look at this. Highway 28 is where this happened. Logs all over the highway.
Yeah, you can't park there.
Yeah, no. Nobody got hurt, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think everybody ended up being okay.
Thank the good Lord.
And yes. As I was on 8th Street yesterday during the daylight hours, I couldn't help but take a picture of this.
Are they fixing the timer and the sensors? Or
they were fine tuning it,
calibrating it.
Calibrating it.
Mr. Bucket Truck. You'll occasionally see them. Watch those. These guys are trying to do it. And let's see here. It seemed like there was another big event that went on. Oh, what did I do with it, Odie? There was something I wanted to show. Shad White made another Christmas. Do we call it? Well, it's an arrest. Man, let's just go ahead and throw this up here. There he is. He was the former Sardis Fire Department secretary, treasurer. He just kind of reached out and helped himself there. And they,
you do that to the fire department?
Innocent until proven guilty,
That's
but
true.
he has been charged. And fraudulent invoices were being submitted is how that all came about, where you would, let's just hypothetically say you paid $3 for something, you'd submit an invoice for $100. Hypothetically, that would be.
That'll get you.
Do you have cases like that come?
We can have, if as long as it's as far as monetary, and that's a good thing we can go over. Any monetary suit of any sort, $3,500 or under, comes before.
It has to be below
that. It has to
that.
be below $3,500 currently. There's talk that it might go up at some point, but currently it's $3,500 or less.
Okay. Have everybody paid attention to the bird flu situation? They've filed a state of emergency in the California. Everybody up to date on that?
No,
I'm not.
We keep everybody in California over there.
Yeah, that happened
Don't let them
yesterday.
out of that country into ours.
Bird flu, and this probably means that they will be exterminating most of the livestock in the state of California due to this. There's one person in Louisiana. The major case that the U.S. has had with bird flu, and they say they're trying to stop this. I hope this is handled quickly. Absolutely. Also, California, also in the news this morning, and by 2035, they passed this week to where no gas cars will be allowed in the state of California.
Good for them.
If y'all are ready to move away from California,
keep
we
them.
welcome you here. But leave your politics where it's at.
Yeah, that one.
Don't bring to the politics that destroyed the whole state over to where you're moving to get away from it. Just remember, fit in. don't come messing up our little area.
Yeah, so
Man.
we'll watch these cases and how it affects the economy. Anytime that you have something like the bird flu this big there, it affects things.
Absolutely.
The
Prices of
feds
things.
are even talking about lowering the interest rate again because, well, the stock market hasn't been doing all that great here lately. Mm-hmm. We'll see if that holds true or not. Not real sure there.
Yesterday was a rough day on the stock market.
It was. It dropped. I don't know how many points it went down, but it was
1,100 points, I believe. 1,000 something. I think it was 1,100 points on the Dow.
Nick is already lining up to buy this book. I see it in his future. Kamala is got a book coming out. Do y'all know about that?
I do not.
She is going to receive $20 million to write a book about her time of running for president. Who? Maybe it'd be a top seller. I don't know. We'll wait and see on that. But
as long as you get $20 million, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll write a book for 10.
Yeah, start bidding it down.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what she'll put in it. I'm still trying to.
Well, she's not going to put the truth, I can promise you that.
Well, we'll see what becomes of it, but there is a book coming. Hey, maybe she could donate that $20 million that she overspent to pay. Do y'all think she could do that?
No, she wouldn't do that.
I'm just asking. We'll be right back with birthdays and a whole bunch more. Join us, won't you?
Here at Meridian Cycles, we're your CF Moto headquarters. And here at the end of the year, we have a special deal on CF Moto C-Force 500 four-wheelers. We're offering these for only $69.99 plus tax and title. It is a fantastic deal, and let me tell you some of the features that this four-wheeler has. This C-Force 500 features aluminum wheels, power steering, and a 2,500-pound winch, all at an incredible price of $69.99 plus tax and title. Come see us at Meridian Cycles, 80 Highway 19 North, right here in Meridian, or call 601-485-8700. Come see us.
Battery power made by steel. Right now, save $50 on select AK System battery tool sets. Real steel. Find yours.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPal windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty. This is a big deal. I remember watching it as a kid. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Come on down.
Come on down.
We had a Jackson, Mississippi lady appear on The Price is Right this week. I think her name was Phyllis Parker. Pretty big deal to make it to that. Now, it's no Bob Barker nowadays, but still, it's a pretty big deal to make it to a game show.
I mean, I'd like to get on one of these days just to see.
Do they still have the $25,000 pyramid? Is that gone?
I don't know.
I don't know if they.
I think they do. I think they do.
Now.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I'm pretty certain they got it.
Really, the only one I'm smart enough to play on is Family Feud because you get choices.
That's it. You got options.
These other ones that are so sophisticated, I'd never make it. I cannot solve the first puzzle whatsoever on that Vanna White show.
Oh, I can solve every one of them probably till I get there on TV and I go,
and then it'd be over. It'd be over.
I'm not good at it. I admit it. It can be one letter away, and I'll sit there and stare at it, and Angie's going.
Now, I want to say Angie Bird went to school with her, and her brother Bird.
Okay.
I want to say their grandparents, their uncle, something like that, was actually on The Price is Right in the 80s.
They win something?
Well, they won a snowmobile.
Fair enough.
I think they, turned around and says, "Okay, you get the money for it or whatever else." But yeah, I remember something about them being on that show.
I can't spell very good enough to be on the Vanna White show.
I'm with you on that.
And my clerks will verify for that. I said what I wanted from them for Christmas was just a laminated sheet with judicial words that you had to write on your jackets.
There's 110,000 people that'll tell you that I can't, but that's okay.
Dot said they don't have that $25,000 pyramid show no more.
Oh, it's gone.
They don't.
Well, yeah, it's a $100,000 pyramid.
Oh, well, inflation happens.
Inflation doesn't come along.
That does happen there. All right, we got any birthdays, Odie?
We do, but we got one little thing that came in at West Lauderdale. Starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Abdullah's going to be riding his bike 24 hours nonstop around the track to raise money for the band. So get in touch with a band member to help pledge some money for them.
That's good.
24 hours on a bicycle.
And Ed can do it. He can do it.
He can. And I hope he does that across America again. That's something.
I think he will.
Good guy. He's been on the show here.
Yeah, many times.
Real good guy.
He taught me in school.
Really?
He taught me at
What
Lamar.
class?
History. Absolutely. So, and all my history knowledge, you can just add. Ed is his fault.
He's the one that didn't drill it in.
He didn't drill it in hard enough.
Talk about history. Keith McCare's got a birthday.
I sure wish I knew his age on that.
Yeah, I'm not
We'd go
gonna
to
say,
telling it.
Yeah, Terry Aldridge, Julie. I got Julie on my mind. Julie Carney's having a birthday. Todd Smith, Marty Hagwood, and Charlie Turk, 93 years young.
And I've got 2 birthdays I've got to say that I can't forget. First off, my son's turning 13 tomorrow,
so you can't forget
I got to
that.
wish Hayes Leasy a happy birthday. And one of my very good friends, he's Lauderdale County's most eligible bachelor, Clinton Denton. Denton Hydraulics. He turned 42 December 13th, so I couldn't leave without telling those guys happy birthday.
That. 13, hit the teen, responsibility just doubled. You know, that's tough.
He's coming to work today. That's right. He's coming to work today.
I'll already be there.
Oh, he's coming. He got out of school yesterday. He's coming to the fireworks store today. I let him have a half day yesterday.
I walk. You start walking, I'll pick you up halfway.
I kept getting texts this morning going, is Nick's wife going to be with him? Everybody was excited. She wouldn't show.
She is scared. She is completely scared to come on this show. She don't know what kind of pictures or what kind of scenes you're going to put up on that thing. But she laughs. I guarantee she's watching and wondering what's going to pop up on that screen.
We hope she's doing well. And we do miss her. We'd love to have her as a guest on the show one day. We could find out a lot about you.
I will make her. I'll make her come the next time.
It would be good there. All right.
We called you out, Bob. You just wasn't paying attention on your birthday.
Was it 7? How old was Bob?
I have to go back and look.
Okay. We got it on the sheet somewhere.
We got it on the sheet.
Ooh, doggy.
We're going to go to the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 35. And it says, "And the angels answered and said unto her, The Holy Ghost shall come upon thee, and the power on the highest shall overshadow thee. Therefore also that holy thing which shall be born of thee shall be called the Son of God." The Son of God, the preacher, the teacher, Emmanuel. He is the beginning. He is the end. He is everything. And our life should start with him because it's going to end with him. This is the time that we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Celebrate next week during Christmas, but invite him into your heart and celebrate him every single day. We hope y'all had a wonderful day. We'll be back tomorrow for the regular show. Somebody asked where Julia was. She's here on Fridays, along with Gregory. But we'll be here. Big show tomorrow, Friday's regular day. But hope y'all have a wonderful day. And remember, we love you.
Nick, anything that we've left off in your world that you need to recap?
I don't think so. I just want to thank y'all for letting me come on and speak and have a good time. I like to shoot the bull. That's the only thing I'm good at. So I'll come on anytime.
You fit in good with the rest of us.
That's it.
And for those of you who are just tuning in, this is Judge Nick Lisi, District 1 in Lauderdale County. We've had a blast with him.
Yes.
He'll be wearing a robe at a later time next week. You can come see him all dressed in black.
Absolutely. You won't even recognize me.
I bet he gets out of that new truck he's got saying, "Sharp dress man."
That's right. The music automatically turns on.
Play it in over the intercom system. Yeah.
Thank y'all so much, and God bless you. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at the Scotty Ray Report.